Chandler with the ball. 7 points in the game. And Gallinari kicks to Mozgov. 6 on the shot clock. 11 feet away. Shot is good, and the Cavaliers really cut down to 10 on the bucket from Gallinari.
What you like about Chandler, an inside-out scoring threat, and he's an explosive finisher around the rim, too, with shooting range that stretches out beyond the arc.
From the sideline, let's catch up with Doris Burke.
Well, guys, as we all know, LeBron James is now back in Cleveland, but he thinks his time in Miami will serve him well. As he said, Miami for me has been like college for other kids. I became a better player and a better man. I learned from a franchise that had been where I wanted to go. Kevin?
He knows what it takes to win it all, Doris. Now he's trying to do it back home in Ohio. Thanks. James kicks to Irving. Marion left side. Puts it up from 15. Good as the jump shot falls. Marion's got 7 points. The Nuggets trail by 10. Chandler is screen. Now here is 4. He's covered by Irving. And it's sent back by Irving. And the Cavaliers pushing it up now. LeBron leading the charge. He dishes it to Waiters. Marion passes to Waiters. And on the way from Irving for 3. That's good. 15 points in the game.
He's their go-to guy, and when he shoots the ball like he has today, that's what the scoreboard usually looks like.
Foy dishes to Chandler. Pass to Mozgov. He kicks to Gallinari. And he gets the shot to fall after coming off the pick. Gallinari's got 6 points.
Very effective screen to set up the jumper. That was the key to that play.
Timeout is called. First of the game for the Cavaliers.
Well, Danilo Gallinari back in action after missing all of last season. After surgery to repair his meniscus back in 2013. 9 months later, it was decided that he needed an ACL reconstruction as well. So it's been a tough couple of seasons for Gallinari.
A different look for Denver. JaVale McGee's checked in for Chandler. And Harris subbed in for Aaron Aflalo. And then for Cleveland, Brendan Haywood, he's checked in for Thompson. Miller comes in for Dion Waiters. And it's Matthew Dellavedova in for Kyrie Irving.
And for Gallinari, pretty mobile for a 6'10 player. But coming back from major knee surgery, that's usually a 1.5-year process. We'll have to see how that impacts his game going forward.
4. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2. The Gallinari that came into the NBA as a great three-point shooter, that percentage dropped year after year as he became, Steve, more of a slasher.
Yeah, and he might look to rewind and go back to that outside shot more as his knee takes time to get back to 100%.
Everything appeared to be lined up for Cleveland to get back into the playoffs last year, but that just wasn't the case. A lot of what-ifs for them last season.
And with another top pick on the roster, Kevin, and a youthful team, they were a popular pick before the season to play postseason games, but they still needed some season.
To JaVale McGee. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. And now for Cleveland. They still have the youth to grow, but with LeBron on board, the sky for them is the limit.
As are the expectations. And one more note about Cleveland. Everyone will now assume that they will make the playoffs this year, but the ultimate goal is a title, something that hasn't happened in the city of Cleveland for any major sport in a long time. Probably 64, I think, may be the last title.
Again, you're right on it.
You know, last season, Denver really cleared the deck for JaVale McGee to take over as a starting center. But he only managed 5 games as a stress fracture in his tibia cost him the rest of the season.
Miller outside. Takes the 3, and he gets it to go. Miller's got his second basket of the night. With McGee's size and athleticism, Steve, the ownership in Denver infatuated with his potential.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons they traded away Costa Koufos. And remember, they changed head coaches. It was all sort of a way to clear the path for McGee, but he wasn't healthy. So now we'll see if he's healthy, whether all that pays off for him.
Shots good by Miller.
They're straying away from the three-point game here in the second half. And that's fine as long as they're on the lead and they're getting good shots. They've decided not to take nearly as many three-pointers in this half.
About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks.
And the rebounding numbers don't actually tell the whole story. I mean, they're barely ahead in that category, but when they've needed them, they've gotten them. They've really battled hard.
It's their work on the glass, Steve, that's prevented any kind of momentum swing.
Now, here is Ford. From the high post, and that's going to do it. Some good defense down the stretch to end the quarter.
Coming up Tuesday, November 11th, Tim.
And it's time to bring up the State Farm assist of the game.
Well, it had to be this play, don't you think, Kevin?
Sure.
This is just a phenomenal pass. Made the defense look like they had no idea what was going on.
What precision with that pass.
Beautiful.
Gallo and Fareed at the forwards. Aflalo is out there with Robinson. And it's Hickson in at the 5 spot. That's the group in the game for the Nuggets. James has a 2-pointer. Finds himself wide open and drills it. LeBron's got the fourth quarter started here with a bucket for the Cavs. The Nuggets trail by 20. And here is Robinson. Feeds it to Hickson. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Nuggets will retain possession.
Now that pass had just a little bit too much heat on it for him to make a clean steal.
Yeah, I think it would have been a tough catch for either of them.
Wilson Chandler's checked in for Denver. Aflalo outside. Chandler kicks to Robinson. Back to Chandler. The Nuggets need to get a shot off here. And it's Robinson again missing. The Cavaliers leading by 20. The drive by James. Outside Irving from past the arc. Good, and the assist goes to LeBron. 18 points for Kyrie Irving.
Absolutely on fire from behind the arc.
Yeah, that's where he's getting his points.
Robinson passes to Hickson. Chandler outside. The feed now to Robinson. Kicks to Fareed. The jump shot from the baseline is right on target. About a minute and a half into the fourth quarter now. Here's Irving.
Well, a new award in the NBA starting 2 seasons ago, the Twyman Stokes Best Teammate, and the first honoree was Chauncey Billups.
And here's LeBron outside. Another miss by James. The Nuggets trail by 21. Aflalo goes in. Here's Chandler, and the shot is good. And the names of that award memorializes the incredible story of Jack Twyman and Maurice Stokes. Stokes, an NBA All-Star in each of his first 3 seasons, but in a game in 1958, he took a hard fall, hit his head, and thereafter became paralyzed.
One of the saddest and most moving stories in the history of sports. Stokes was waived by the team, and his family couldn't afford his gigantic medical bills, but his teammate, Jack Twyman, worked tirelessly on his behalf. A tremendous story of love, caring, and service in a tough situation.
Robinson goes in, and Fareed the bucket on the assist from Robinson. And it's 8 points for Kenneth Fareed.
He used his strength there to get into the post without much of a fight from the defense.
Yeah, I think they've got to muscle up on him a little more. Do a better job next time in there.
The Cavaliers leading by 17. Irving dishes to LeBron. Fourth quarter keeps moving right along. 3 minutes gone so far. Fires from deep. Rebounded by Fareed. Fareed's got 3 rebounds so far in the game.
His touch has disappeared on him this quarter. He just hasn't been able to get it going.
And Aflalo kicks to Fareed. Back to Aflalo. Stolen by Waiters. James outside. Outside Irving. He feeds it to Bergeron.
Oh my God, so good.
And we're about 3.5 minutes into the fourth quarter. And stolen by Love. Follow against Irving. James outside. They need this one. And he gets it to go.
Yes.
And now we'll get perspective here on how the hustle game has been going for the Cavaliers.
Their high-energy defensive effort has paid off for them, guys, with more than a few steals over the course of the ball game.
And something else they've excelled at is their interior defense. A lot of blocked shots for them tonight.
And it's the Nuggets with the ball. Now Robinson picks in a screen on Irving. Fareed left side. Back to Aflalo. Tried to come right back with the three of his own, but it's no good. Here's Waiters.
Well, the league is making a push for more transparency with its officiating since last season, and I really think that's the way to go. They're sharing memos with teams and the media. And I think it's a great step, really, because, again, with all of the information and technology available, fans are able to see more and their expectations are higher. And when you can do it at a higher level and to help get things right, I think transparency is a good thing from the official standpoint. Help people understand how difficult their jobs are and the great job that they do as officials.
Brendan Haywood, he's checked in for Waiters. There's 1:54 left in the fourth quarter of this one. Foy, the pass to Harris. Here's Miller. Basket is good. The assist from Harris.
Well, we've seen that more than a few times. An easy bucket in the lane.
Yeah, the interior defense simply has been lifeless.
Dellavedova kicks to Marion. Pass to Miller. Cleveland moving the ball around. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Thompson with the bucket.
Dan, we head to the final buzzer in a crushing blowout. Big-time dominance. This will go in the books as a really gaudy win for the Cavaliers.
Agreed, Steve, and as one-sided as it gets today. You know, Clark, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
You're right, Kevin. It's hard to think of anything that didn't go right for them. I mean, game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was spot on.
And during the long NBA season, each contest important here tonight. Tonight's win will give them 4 on the season.
No way.
And I think this win builds confidence this year in the matchup. They take the first win of the season series, and you know that could play a factor the next time these two teams meet.
And that next meeting will be their second and final game of the season series, being in opposite conferences. So you bet nobody wants to get swept even in a 2-game season series. So I think the next game will be hotly contested.
You always need role players to step up and help, and that was the case here as everything was working for Dion Waiters. And a big part of their success was his ability to keep the ball moving and finding guys when they would flash open.
Soft touch off the glass.
It's interesting. They're like a different team now. Suddenly, they've got energy.
You know, it's not going to change anything, though, other than to make their losing margin a little more respectable.
And Marion gets it to go.
Boy, you relish these sorts of road games where you come in and you get the job done.
In a long schedule with the kinds of pressure of travel and tough opponents throughout the season, it's always good when you play a game like they have here.
And Harris wide open. He shoots, and right away they match it with a three-pointer of their own.
How about that? They respond to a three-pointer with a quick three of their own.
Yeah, terrific. Great back-and-forth sequence right there.
Dellavedova, that's good.
Boy, they're extending their lead. It kind of feels like they're just piling on here as we come to an end.
Well, hey, let's just call it what it is. They are trying to run it up on them.
So